Deb, what are you doing?
This is a beautiful letter.
Do you always read other people's mail?
No, I saw the address on the envelope. Ernest and Hemingway, San Francisco de Paula, Cuba. If I got this letter, I'd fall in love with you instantly.
Well, it wasn't addressed to you.
You're just afraid to send it, aren't you?
City desk, Myers.
This is Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, really? This is Ernest Hemingway?
I got your letter. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Well, the movie is a true story of a young reporter that is befriended by Mary and Ernest Hemingway and actually interacts with them very closely and in fact becomes almost like a son to them during the last 2 years of Hemingway's life while he lived in Cuba. And through this young reporter's eyes, we really begin to see a very personal, private side of Hemingway that he didn't really let the public see. In fact, much of his public persona was an act. And he suffered tremendously from, most importantly, a mental illness that caused great depression, was rampant in his family, and 9 people committed suicide in his family.
He's the biggest tourist attraction in Cuba.
You look just like the old man in the sea.
Thank you for sending the letter.
You're welcome.
They fed me rum daiquiris on the plane. I'm half bombed.
Not a bad way to start the day. Come on, let's go find you a fish.
Yeah, things like, I mean, the simplest things in the U.S. I mean, you need to feed your crew 3 times a day, and it's a 120-person crew, and so you hire a catering company. But we go down there, and there's no catering company. There are no businesses. So you have to figure it out. There are no star wagons. There are no changing rooms for the stars that are so easily accessible here. So we had to convert a bus. Lack of infrastructure, no stages really, equipment. So it made it very challenging. And then the real interesting one was the Cuban work ethic is very different than a U.S. production. U.S. productions work 14, 16 hours a day. The Cuban film community is passionate, talented, great people, wonderful people, but they're just used to doing things a little slower.
I knew that I wanted to be a writer, so I copied your short stories. You taught me how to type. You taught me the English language. You taught me how to see.
I tell you what kind of kid he'd be.
I'm not sure it knows what he's getting himself into.
What's going on? A friend just called. You want a good story?
We're dealing in the scene where Hemingway is having trouble writing, and I'm standing on the square foot of ground where he wrote, and we had a prop typewriter because these are museum relics. And when I first got there, the reaction of the women was very skeptical, you know, very, who is this guy that's going to be portraying our man, you know? And we'd been shooting 3 or 4 days, and we were approached that scene, and as we were getting ready to shoot, Ada Rosa, who runs the museum, came in with a few of her gals behind her and said, "We'd like Adrian to work with this." And it was Hemingway's typewriter.
It goes up, then you can get some line back. Easy. That's it. Feels like a whale. The tuna. Little one. Oh, now he's turned around. Now you can get some line back.
Giovanni Ribisi is a very well-known actor. He's very recognizable. He has a wonderful, huge following. And we go through the airport, and he's constantly accosted. They were pushing past Giovanni to get to Papa. There's such a strong feeling among the Cuban people of just a real bond between them, no matter what the age, young to old. He's kind of a legend there. I'd walk along the beach on a day off with a hat to cover my un-Hemingway hairline, and from the crowds you'd hear "Papa, Papa, oi Papa," and it had nothing to do with the movie. They didn't know that was going on. They saw someone who looked like Hemingway.
We're all gonna die sometime, kid.
You don't have to do this.
The only value we have as human beings are the risks we're willing to take.